Hello, Hail Stalkers. This is Derek Klein coming to you from the Hail Palace on Saturday, May 16th. We've got an active severe weather forecast for the central and southern plains today, and it looks like softball size hail, tornadoes, high winds potentially over 80, maybe even 100 miles per hour in a few locations. So a lot to talk about today. It's going to be a pretty serious active weather day. If you live in the area that we're forecasting, you really need to take today fairly seriously. Doesn't mean you need to be afraid, but just need to pay attention to what's going on out there. So let's go ahead and dive on into what we've got in place. Let's start out by taking a look at the ingredients. So we've got a moderate to high level of instability. That's the amount of heat and moisture in the atmosphere. It's going to combine together to create our instability that we have in place. The one thing that we're lacking is the amount of sunshine. So we've got scattered showers and thunderstorms across a large part of Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma this morning. So those are going to help to limit the temperatures a little bit with that cloud cover. So that's only going to allow us to get to the moderate to high level. So still fairly high, but not to the extreme or the extremely high level that we might have on a more high-end severe weather day. But with the amount of moisture that we have in place, so moisture dew points in the atmosphere, extreme. So we are in the area where we would expect a high-end severe weather event. And we also have high to extreme wind shear. So we've got two of the three ingredients, and we've got part of the third ingredient that we need. And so when we combine those three together, we are forecasting a high-end severe weather event for the day. So let's go ahead and take a look at the overall forecast, where we think everything's going to kind of shake out for you. So we're going to have a low pressure that's going to develop across parts of northwest Kansas, southern Nebraska. We will have a warm front that will drape across that. And along that warm front, we could have a couple scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially as you get into Illinois, Indiana, back over here in Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia, and then maybe as far south as Kentucky. Those thunderstorms could produce some isolated hail, some of that potentially up to the size of golf balls. We're not going to lock anybody in. In fact, we're not really going to forecast a whole lot of it because it's really only one or two storms that'll produce that. But back here in the plains, we're going to be watching along the dry line. So from Nebraska down into Kansas, down into Oklahoma, and potentially as far south as northwest Texas, this dry line is going to fire severe thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. This is where all the instability is in place. This is where the wind shear is in place. This is where we're going to have the worst severe weather today. Now, we've also drawn on the map a little outflow boundary here that stretches across parts of central Oklahoma, southwest Oklahoma. This will be a focal point. So places that severe thunderstorms that move along this boundary, they're going to have the higher end potential for severe weather today. So again, that's Oklahoma City, Clinton, Lawton. You folks, that's where this front's going to be at for the afternoon, okay? As we head off towards Kansas City and up into Iowa, the wind shear is not really in place across this part of the country, so it's not quite as high end of a severe weather threat with this boundary as it is back to the southwest across parts of western and central Oklahoma. So this will be our main focal point, the main area that we think has the best chance for very large hail. But as you head north into Kansas and Nebraska, the chances there is a lot more cloud cover and a lot more showers and thunderstorms, but it's going to still set up, and we're still going to have our battleground across a large portion of the central and southern plains. And again, this is the area that we think has the best likelihood of golf ball size hail or larger as we go through the afternoon and evening hours. So here's a look at the actual forecast, the size of hail that we're forecasting for the day. So again, we've got a large area of quarter to golf ball size hail. Again, might have a couple of big storms back here to the east across the Ohio Valley, but again, nothing too significant or nothing too widespread. So we're going to leave that off the map for now, but don't be shocked if you see something over here. But then we're going to have this area again. This is where the show is. And so we've got a large area where potentially up to softball size hail could fall this afternoon. So we're going from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon until possibly as late as midnight with these storms. So we're going to have enough warm air, enough wind shear in place that these storms will be able to hold their own through the overnight hours. Eventually they form into a squall line, the hail threat drops off, and it becomes more of a high wind threat and isolated tornadoes as well with some of that squall line activity. So let's go ahead and take a look at the individual forecast for each city. So we're going to go Oklahoma City here, and in Oklahoma City we've got, again, softball size hail possible for parts of Oklahoma City. We've got that boundary in place. 4 to midnight, Chance of hail is about 40%. So a couple of questions on the severity or the amount of storms that will move into Oklahoma City, if they'll be able to stay separated and all that fun stuff. But if they do, again, 40% chance of very large hail and winds potentially up to 80 miles per hour with any of the severe storms. There is also a fairly high tornado threat across parts of Oklahoma City today. So you guys are aware of the drill. You get plenty of them, but keep your eyes out in Oklahoma City, as this is probably the most likely larger populated area to have a tornado as we go through the afternoon and evening hours. Also, one of the most likely areas to have the very large hail. I'm going to go kind of move up the line here. We're going to go head up towards Tulsa. Storms move in a little bit later, 6 to midnight. Again, they probably start to form more into a cluster of storms or a line of storms, which will reduce the potential hail size to 2 inches or smaller across Tulsa. We'll go about a 20% chance of hail, and some of the winds could be up to 70 miles per hour with some of the stronger storms as they move through the Tulsa area. Wichita, Kansas, 4 to 10 p.m. softball size hail, so you are far enough west that the large hail could be there. We'll have to watch to see if we can get enough sunshine and instability in place. But again, a 40% chance of hail and 80 mile per hour winds also possible across Wichita, Kansas. And our last stop up the line, Grand Island and Lincoln, Nebraska, where we've got up to baseball size hail possible. The chance of hail is about 40% across Grand Island and Lincoln area, and wind-driven hail winds up to 75 miles per hour will be possible with these storms as well. So that's a look at your forecast for Saturday, May the 16th. If you have any questions, as always, we are here, info@hailtrace.com. You can also give us a call at 855-334-4245. We hope you have a great day.